it was fascinating, by the way, wasn't it? Watching the response. Well, there's not really a response from the BBC when they started revealing salaries. And I know Dan talked about this yesterday. I think Mike's had a bit of a chinwag about it earlier on. But there is a point when, even if you are a supporter of the BBC, and again, I speak with a level of qualification having worked there, and I know that I did work with some really talented and very, very decent people. So let me get that out there. But I was also aware that I was working for a kind of basket case of an organisation that is so vast that nobody can quite work out what to do for the best, and different departments respond at different times to different things, thinking they're doing the right thing. You had the whole kind of equal pay thing, which was such an absolute nonsense in the way that was done. The Samira Ahmed, Jeremy Vine debacle. I mean, it was an absolute insult to basic intelligence, let alone the letter of the law. And that's not in any way to undermine her as a quality journalist, in any way to make any comment on the generous pay packet of Mr. Vine either. But it just shows the kind of nonsense and the absolute impenetrable nature of logic that exists down there at BBC HQ. And then we learn today that, you know, they're giving presenters pay rises for abject failure. Now, I don't know in whose world this is okay. I don't know at what point in the discussions somebody says, yeah, that's fine. I've no idea when somebody's agent approaches the BBC and says, hey, look, we've got the presenter and she's going to do the breakfast show for you. That's okay, but we'd actually like another £1 million. They go back to the numbers and go, £1 million. Yeah, but we've lost that. Like, that's oddly, sorry, Mr. Agent, that's the same amount of listeners that has been lost, 1 million. So kind of technically, we should be asking you for £1 million back. But we obviously can't do that. So, but come on, you're the BBC and it's the breakfast show. Oh, all right then. Okay, here's a mill. Tell Zoe hello. See her at the bar. I mean, it's this kind of nonsense that is leading to almost industrial scale campaigns to defund the organisation. And sometimes you sit and you don't so much scratch your head, you tear your flipping hair out at just the illogical nature of what they are doing. In whose world is that okay? I'm pretty sure that if you spoke to half of the people involved, the recipients of the bonuses and the pay rises, and said, do you not think this is a bit weird? They'd probably go, do you know, it is a bit. I can't believe me luck, frankly. This is just utterly extraordinary. Oh, look, you've done the job for 3 minutes and therefore, you know, it's the same job as the last. But the last person had loads of experience and, clearly a track record. So that sort of would be the reason why we would pay that person that money. You've got to give them the same money. No, you haven't got to give them the same money because you've got two different talent bases going on there. No, you have to, because one's a bloke and one's a girl. Oh, right. Okay. So you want to distinguish in that respect, because we weren't distinguishing. We were just thinking, we pay for a talent with a track record and we are confident that that track record will prove fruitful and produce more audiences. Yeah, that's what you'd think the logic would be. But actually their logic is, oh mate, we've been caught with our flipping pants down. So we've got to pay her the same as him because we do, because they're doing the same show. Yeah, well, on that basis, frankly, the janitor in the hospital gets paid the same as the neurosurgeon. I mean, this is just such nonsense. And even if you could create the argument that you have parity between two people, how would you get a pay rise when you have actively lost listeners, the very thing you were hired to at the very least, retain? That doesn't make any sense anywhere. Absolutely no sense anywhere. So I would just say again to the BBC, you keep at it, sunshine, because you are essentially writing your own death warrant by the day. And surely supporters of the BBC, people who want to see it find a niche or find a future or find just a way that makes it relevant, would have to begin to look at this and unpick it and say, hang on, Mr. Davey and the 7,000 managers that work under you, perhaps we could just do this little thing called applying logic and common sense. And that's it. Forget whatever your policy. Forget the fact that, well, we've got to be seen to do. No, you haven't. And how does a bloke that used to play for Leicester earn £1.5 million a year?